How you doing? This is Mr. Ben, and I'm going to talk to you about how to make a bow hand. It's something we've been covering in class. Should be pretty simple. So first thing you do is you just take your hand, make sure it's nice and soft, and then you make the bunny. Again, all of you should know how to do this. I'm just going to show you kind of some different angles of it. This right here is nice and round, and as you can see, 2 fingers over the top, and if you look this way, my thumb is bent just a little bit, not forced, just nice and comfortable. Everything about the bow hand should be soft and relaxed and fairly natural. So what we're going to do next, to actually put it on the bow, you turn it on its side like this, and the reason we do this is because if you try and make a bow hand and you're holding it sideways, it's going to put all the pressure into your pinky, which is your weakest finger. So we have him on his side. Now the hair of the bow faces towards me. I open this up just a little bit and place it so my thumb is touching the hair on its side, and it's bent and it's at an angle. And I'm going to try and show you how this looks. You can see kind of how that works like that. Not in this little space in the frog, but right next to it between the leather and the frog. So he's nice and bent. And then I bring these 2 fingers just comfortably over the top. No squeezing. If you see white knuckles, that probably means you're gripping like crazy. And then from here, it's pretty straightforward. Just let this first finger come over the top. He doesn't do much of anything in this position. He just sits between these 2 knuckles on top of the stick. And the last thing, the pinky, should be nice and round. And he sits right over the edge of the frog, just like that. And I'll show you a couple of different angles here. Here's the pinky from kind of behind. You can see he's still nice and round. You might even be able to see my thumbs bent. There's the top, a little space between all of my fingers. We're not bunched up like this, just nice and comfortable. There's the side. And I'm going to show you this one. I hope you can see that one pretty well. You can see that there's a little bit of space here. He's not squozing, which I don't even think is a word. And as you can see, my thumb is a little bit bent as well. So nice and comfortable. From here, you can do some windshield wipers like this. And check it out, guys. My pinky's still round. This way, thumb is still bent. Ideally, you should be able to do these without having any fingers moving around in the bow. And if you get really good, you can do this one. I'll show you the magic trick really quick. Oh, thumb comes off. So anyways, that is how you make a bow hand. All you have to do is make it a whole bunch of times, and you'll be pretty much set. The last thing we have to talk about, I'm curious how many people are actually watching these videos. So I'm going to give you a little code word that if you tell me the code word in class, I'll have a little surprise for you. The code word is Mr. Wallace. Now, the reason I picked Mr. Wallace is because Mr. Wallace is right there. See that? That is Mr. Wallace. And let me tell you something, he is fabulous. If you dispute the greatness of Mr. Wallace in class, it is grounds for dismissal from the program. But if you tell me Mr. Wallace kind of whispered in my ear, I'll give you a little treat. And the only rule is you can't tell all your friends the code word. You can tell them to watch the video, but you can't tell them the code word. Great, so practice those bow hands, and we'll see you in class soon.